Presence, the podcast for everyone interested in bodywork, embodiment, and somatic practices. I'm Andrew Rosenstock, your host and guide on this enlightening journey. With my expertise as a somatic movement therapist, yoga therapist, and certified rolfer, I'll merge clinical insight with real-world experience to enrich our discussions with our guests. Through engaging and informative talks, this podcast delves into mind-body paradigms, offering insights and strategies to empower personal growth. Your support is vital for our grassroots and lo-fi production. If you connect with our content, please leave a positive review and subscribe on your preferred platform. Your engagement helps us reach a broader audience and supports our mission. So thanks for tuning in today to Touching into Presence. Fasten your seatbelt as we embark on a journey to explore the transformative power of contemplative and somatic practices together. Hey everyone. I hope you're all doing well out there, wherever you may be. I want to take a moment to share a brief update as it's been a while since I last posted a conversation here. A lot has been happening on my end, which is one of the reasons I haven't been able to record more of these conversations recently. As I mentioned in at least one previous episode, at the end of last year, my wife and I welcomed a child into the world. It's been a beautiful and drastic shift in terms of time, availability, and management. When I started the show in 2020, it was early COVID times, where my former life of working all over the world and doing just what I do kind of came to a halt. I had a lot of free time for a while, as travel and in-person work was less possible at that period. So I was able to really have more talks. And in 2022, I began shifting my work travel to be more stationary and to build a practice here in Boston area, as my wife and I were living here, and travel was more challenging, and also the time management of being in a recent marriage and planning on starting a family was difficult with being in two different countries. And by mid-2024, I'd built a full practice here, which made time for these conversations even harder to come by. But the talks were and still are important to me, and I plan to continue having these conversations just at a different pace than before. And looking ahead, I'm considering making some small changes to the format of the show. While earlier episodes largely focused on rolfing, structural integration, and bodywork as a whole, I want to expand the scope to include a broader range of topics within embodiment, somatics, wellness and well-being, contemplation and contemplative practices, and maybe even beyond that. For me, they all intermingle in so many ways. I'm also planning a series I've playfully been calling Colleagues Corner. In some way, this has already kind of happened with some talks. These would be casual, behind-the-scenes conversations with colleagues and friends. Not about promoting practices, books, or classes, but really about sharing insights, challenges, and camaraderie. Some listeners have told me they really value these kind of conversations, especially those who feel isolated from other practitioners. My hope is that these talks will continue to be supportive and inspiring. Another idea I've been exploring is inviting guests whose work or approaches I seem to not entirely agree with at this point. See, I get quite a few requests from people who want to be on, and for one reason or another, I'm not too convinced or in resonation with parts of them or what they're offering. While I've hesitated to feature such guests in the past, I started to wonder, might it be valuable to have real, respectful discourse? Disagreements can be uncomfortable, but also growth-inducing. And they might help us, me and the person I'm speaking with, and also you as listeners, reconsider biases or deepen understanding. I'll admit I'm a little nervous about how this might come off, especially as I can sound a bit purist at times, so I've been told, or a bit gruff. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this idea. Additionally, I'm gradually transitioning the show to Patreon. I've been updating the Patreon site with episodes, transcripts, and other goodies. While I love creating this podcast, it does come with financial costs. My hope is that Patreon can eventually help cover the expenses. As part of this transition, earlier episodes may no longer be available for free on the current platforms. But again, I'd love your feedback on this change as well. So, all right, that's likely all for now. I'm excited to share some fantastic guests I have lined up. though I'm not exactly sure when those episodes will be ready. And in the meantime, I just wish you all the best out there. And it's been such an honor to craft and curate these talks, and knowing that they resonate with and support so many of you. This little pet project of mine is made with a lot of care, and I'm grateful for all your continual interest and encouragement. So I'm sending my best to you all, and I look forward to being back in touch soon with another conversation when the time permits. In the meantime, be well. Thanks for listening to us at Touching into Presence. If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd appreciate if you'd leave a positive review of the podcast and subscribe to it through the platform of your choice. When you do this, it really helps other people find us, and we greatly appreciate your support. We look forward to hearing back from you and seeing you on our next conversation at Touching into Presence. Bye for now.